I think it's a faux pas, and to quote George Costanza, I think it's a big, hefty, stinking faux pas, I think is what he said, to talk about the same band in 2 episodes in a row. But that's what I'm going to do because the last episode was Carnival of Souls by Kiss. And today, as you can see, is the pompously titled Music from the Elder by Kiss. And I'm going to get to that piece of crap album very shortly. The reason I'm doing it back-to-back today, back-to-back Kiss episodes today, is because really I would have got to the Elder at some point. But today I wanted an excuse to wear and talk about this shirt, which I just received in the mail. And I'm going to talk about that. If you don't want to hear about my shirt and the story behind this shirt, you can fast forward about 30 seconds or 8 minutes until I finish talking about the shirt. And then you can hear about what I think about the Music from the Elder. Sorry, I was just going to call it The Elder. It's Music from the Elder by Kiss. So this shirt, a story about this shirt. Where to start? Now, I have a friend, and I've been friends with this guy. He's called Kevin. I've been friends with Kevin since really, I guess, since I was born. His parents and my parents were friends before. He's 5-6 years older than me, but our parents were friends before I was born. And so I've known Kevin pretty much all my life, and his brother Wayne and Randy too, who are both older than him. Our families were really, really good friends. We spent a lot of good times together through the 70s and 80s and had some really, really good times. And we've been friends on social media for some time. And maybe a month or 5 or 6 weeks ago, Kevin sent me a message. He said, "Hey, Danny." Now, the fact that he called me Danny is relevant to the story later. He said, what shirt size are you? I said, medium, and I was intrigued. He said, "Okay, I have something I'm going to send you." I said, "Okay, don't tell me what it is, just let it be." It turned out that it was a shirt, of course. I said, let it be a surprise. So he said, "What's your address and what size are you?" And I'll get it out to you. So I said, "I'm a medium." I gave him my address. And a week or so later, I don't know, he said, "It's on the way." He said, "Keep an eye out for it. It'll be there in a couple of weeks or something." So a couple of weeks passed, and I didn't forget about it, but I wasn't actively waiting for it because, as far as I knew, and this is relevant too, Kevin was sending it by regular mail. And I should say, Kevin, one of my more latter day memories of Kevin this was in July. I think it might have even been Canada Day, which was July 1st, 1996. The reason I remember this was because and Kevin is from Canada, as am I, but he's lived in Michigan for decades. I think he's lived in Michigan for quite some time. And our families, or some of us anyway, met up together in the summer. I think it was around Canada Day or sometime in July '96, which was a couple of weeks after Kiss, this is all relevant, had started their reunion tour at Tiger Stadium in Detroit, which had long been sold out. And so when I saw Kevin at that time in July '96, he said, "You know what? I actually had tickets to that show. I think it was through his company or something." And he said, if I had thought of it, I could have given them to you. So I missed seeing the reunion tour, the Kiss reunion tour. I saw it 3 times, but I missed the opening night. And Kevin could have hooked me up with tickets with that. So anyway, so I was expecting that Kevin was just sending it regular. What turned out to be this shirt was going to be regular mail, no tracking. And God knows with Mexico how long it takes to get here. So he said it should be there in about 2 weeks, and I kind of, as I said, didn't forget, but didn't really think too much of it. I thought when it comes, it comes. It'll come without warning. As Faith No More, I just realized, sang in Chinese arithmetic. He comes without warning. Faster Disco. He comes without warning. This is in Faster Disco, the first song from Introduce Yourself, 1987. Now I'm talking about Faith No More, but to bring it back to Kiss and Kevin. So now this week, on Monday this week, I was out hiking as I always am on Monday, and I got a call. Seems like I always receive packages on Monday. I got a call from a guy who was making a delivery here. Now, I'd been expecting 2 things from AliExpress, possibly on Monday. It could have been on Tuesday, Wednesday. AliExpress's tracking is not that good. But I was expecting something around that time. So when the guy called and he said, "I have a package for you," I assumed it was AliExpress. One, of the two packages, or maybe both of them that I was about to receive, or that I was expecting to receive. Hadn't even thought that it was this thing from Kevin, because as I said, I was expecting it in a regular mail, not courier service like this guy was. So I said, well, I'm not there to accept it. I'm out hiking. I'm not even in Cuernavaca. I'm not even in my city. So he said, okay, I'll just leave it here. And I said, okay. And I thought it was this thing from AliExpress. When I got home that day, I opened it, and it was, and when I saw it, it was in an envelope. I knew it was a shirt. And so I opened it, and I thought, what is this crap? And it was in a cellophane wrapping. And all I could see was this. All I could see was Kish. And all I could see was like this much of the shirt. I couldn't see that it was Gene Simmons or that had anything to do with Kiss or anything like that, because the things that I was receiving from AliExpress also had nothing to do with Kiss. So I thought, man, these people at AliExpress sent me the wrong item. But I didn't know which item they had sent wrong, because as I said, I was expecting two different things. And I tried to look at the order number that was on the package that the guy brought on Monday and matching it with the two that I was supposed to receive, but the order numbers didn't match up. I thought, which one did they send incorrect? And my first instinct, because I like to take care of problems right away, and I've had these problems with Amazon recently and with my bank. That's a whole different thing recently. And I hate having to do this, but I want to do it right away. And my instinct was to send AliExpress a message saying, hey, what the fuck? You sent me the wrong thing. But I didn't know which one was wrong. So I thought, okay, I'm going to wait and see when the second of the two that was coming, presumably the next day, whatever one it is, then I know by process of elimination which one was wrong. So this, which turned out to be this shirt, sat here on my coffee table for 2 days. And the AliExpress package didn't come. It did come eventually, yesterday. And so in the meantime, this was on Monday that I got this, and it sat here on my coffee table. Kevin sent me a message on Wednesday, a screenshot of the tracking. Now, I didn't know that there was tracking because he didn't give it to me. And it showed that it was but delivered on Monday. And I sent him a message back. I said, nope, I didn't, I'm still waiting for it. I didn't get it. And then when I looked down at the bottom of the tracking, movements, the very bottom one, which was the first one, it said shipped from China on whatever date it was, I guess mid-October, something like that. And then I kind of and also when I received this package on Monday, it was addressed to Danny Delaney. As I said earlier, that's important because Kevin always called me Danny. When I was a kid, I went by Danny, and I haven't been called Danny, I guess, by anybody realistically since I was 13 or 14 or something. And when I received this, I thought, why is it addressed to Danny? Because my name on AliExpress is Dan. There's no way that people in China are going to put Danny. But didn't think anything. I did think this was weird, but I didn't think anything more of it at the time. Do you like this story so far? It's pretty short, huh? And so when Kevin sent me this tracking information that it showed it was sent from China, almost instantly all the dots started to connect. I thought, this was the thing I got from Kevin, which I was expecting from regular mail, which it came by courier, and I didn't know what it was. And so I said, no, you know what? I said I got something on Monday, and then I took a picture of it because it was still, this shirt was still in the cellophane wrapper. I didn't open it because I thought I was going to have to send it back. And I took a picture of this Kish thing, and all I could see was this much, and I said, is this it? And he said, yeah. I thought, now I know the everything is making sense now. But I still didn't know at this point what Kish was. Now, if I had seen the shirt, if I had seen that it was something related to Kiss or Gene Simmons, I would have opened it right away. But all I could see was the word Kish and some kind of black and white color. No indication that it was Kiss, not to be confused with Kiss. So anyway, so this was the thing he had sent me. Now, he told me that Kish, if you can see here, it's a guy called Scott Kish. And here's the tag from it. All right. It says, Scott Kish, a renowned artist known for his unique use of paint, brings his exceptional talent to the world of merchandise by combining his talent with carefully selected materials. Every item is a work of art in its own right. The intentional paint drips and irregularities found in Scott's pieces are not flaws, but rather deliberate design elements that add character and individuality. And it's scottkish.com. So he was the artist who designed this shirt, who Kevin told me is a friend of his from Ontario, around where Kevin and I are both from. And he said, Scott, this guy Scott Kish is a friend of mine, and he does these shirts. He did this Kiss shirt, and Kevin knew I was a Kiss fan. So he sent me the shirt. He thought of me, and he knew I was a Kiss fan, sent me the shirt. So do you see how that all worked out? So that was, about 9 minutes of me explaining how I came to get this shirt. And I wanted to wear it right away to say thank you so much to Kevin. Now, I don't know if Kevin even knows that I have a YouTube channel, and if he does, he sure isn't watching these videos. But I will send this to him, and I'll say, really, thank you, Kevin. This is it's very nice to get gifts. And I will say, I'm a gift giver, too. I like buying things for people sometimes. Little things, it's a thoughtful thing. So it's nice to think that somebody that I've known, like 50 years, pretty much my whole life, saw something, thought of me, and thought to buy it and to spend money on shipping everything and send it to me. So really, Kevin, thank you so much, and my best to Marlene, that's Kevin's mother, and Randy and Wayne and everybody. Thank you, Kevin. I love it. So that's why I wanted to wear this shirt today, and I couldn't wear it unless I was doing a Kiss video, and I had a couple of Kiss albums in the hopper. And I wanted to do this one today to get it out of the way. I'm going to switch from the shirt. I'm going to talk about music from The Elder now. And this album fucking sucks. It's horrible. I talked about Psycho Circus a couple of weeks ago and how bad that was. And in my official Kiss rankings that I did a couple of years ago, I had out of 24 albums, including the 1978 albums, Peter Criss's will be at the bottom of any list. I had The Elder slightly above it at 23 and Psycho Circus at 22. And I think I'll stick with that. The Elder really sucks. Now, my general thoughts about The Elder before I get to the track by track, it's just so pointless. Really, I think the musical world will be probably in a better place if this album didn't exist. It was yet another example, although at that time it was maybe the second or third example, of Kiss just trying to do too much, trying to fit in, trying to prove something, trying to be something that they weren't. So they came up with this, I guess it's a concept album, although I still have no idea what the fuck it means or what, the story about it. And even at the time, when this came out in 1981, I'd been a Kiss fan at that point for 5, 6, 7 years, something like that. I didn't buy it at the time. I bought Dynasty, and I did buy the next album, which was, I think Creatures of the Night I bought later. But at this point, I'd pretty much checked out of Kiss. Probably when I saw it, I don't remember it. I'm just trying to piece it together. The album cover sucks. I think it's Paul Stanley's hand on that big door with the knocker and everything, and very different than a Kiss album as a 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old kid wanted. And it's just a bad album. It's so pointless. I don't know what they were thinking. Well, I know what they were thinking. I guess they wanted respect, and they didn't get it. Kiss has had some big missteps in their career. For as big as they have been at times, they've had some really big missteps, I guess you'd call them. So that's The Elder, and I don't even know who played on it. Now imagine also Eric Carr. Guitar, I don't know. Imagine this was Eric Carr's first album with Kiss. Imagine joining Kiss and then you're thrown into this cauldron of crap. I think Eric Carr must have been very disappointed. Now, I really know almost nothing about this album. I know the basics. I know Bob Ezrin produced it, who produced Destroyer, and he produced Pink Floyd, The Wall. I don't know. Now, at this point, I can't remember if Ace was in the band or not. He did sing on one song. I don't know how much guitar Ace played in this song. I think there are 2 songs that I can identify as Ace solos. Maybe some other ones, maybe not. But that's it. This album is truly awful. Abysmal. Pathetic. Whatever adjective you want to describe this album with, negative adjective, I would strongly agree with you. Carnival of Souls is and I like Carnival of Souls. I'd even say it's a masterpiece compared to this record. And I never had this on vinyl, as I said. I checked out. I Unmasked before it, and never bought this on vinyl, and also didn't buy Creatures of the Night on vinyl until later. And then I got back into the Kiss world with Lick It Up. So this is my first time having it on vinyl, and you may wonder why I wanted this if I dislike it so much. It's because I do want, more than any band, actually it's the only band, I do want all their records on vinyl at some point. I think I've got a few more. No, I know I still need, I won't tell you which ones I need, but there are a few that I do need. And I do have one more, it's right here in front of me, that I'll talk about at some point when I take a little break from talking about Kiss records. So I'll open this up now. I'm not sure what to expect from the vinyl, because I never had it. And I don't think I ever listened to this album more than twice, maybe 3 times completely in my life. Yeah, so and I did listen to it. I subjected myself to it is what I did yesterday to listen to it, and then again today. And I had to take notes, can you believe, about a Kiss record that I'm so unfamiliar with it that I had to take notes to get through the track by track. Pathetic. As a almost lifelong Kiss fan, that's how much I hate The Elder, that I don't even know it. It's largely unfamiliar to me. All right, so I'll open it up now. And it's a gatefold. It's a gatefold. Look at that. There's the first positive thing I can say about The Elder. I didn't know that this was a gatefold. This is to me is almost like an album from another band that I'm not even familiar with. I didn't know there was a gatefold. Oh, it's music from The Elder. They put on the cover, there's no quotation marks, but then on the back it is The Elder in quotation marks. That means it's very important. And here's the hype sticker. This is a little bit different than the other Kiss 2014 reissue hype stickers. It includes a voucher to download an MP3 version of the album, 180 gram heavyweight vinyl. This one is not telling me that I'm an audiophile, so maybe I've gone down the ranks. All right, I guess I'll open it up and talk about it. Whoops. And sometimes I forget to get the knife out, and I have to waste valuable seconds to get it out. All right, gatefolds are easy, and yeah, despite the fact that this album fucking sucks, who doesn't like a nice gatefold? It's a nice little treat to have a gatefold record. All right, and there it is, and this is all new to me, I guess. Yeah. Oh yeah, I've seen this picture for sure. I did have it on CD. I got it on CDs many years later, probably in the late 90s, maybe even early 2000s, I don't know. It is a single album, but it is a gatefold, and probably just, I don't know, I always thought it was going to be just a plain white sleeve. It does have, all right, it does have the lyrics, which will surely help me enjoy it even more. There it is. All right, now I need to go to the notes, because I really know almost nothing about this album. So if I can put this back in, all right. And let me take my notepad here. So the first song, now from what I remember, my friend Paul Casanova from Rusty Eye, he told me, we talked about The Elder some months ago, and he said, I guess originally this had a different track listing. Now this is the more, I guess they updated it, they changed it. He said this is better. I don't know, that's like, you know, I don't know. It's like something, I don't know what it is, but it's like something. The songs are still shit. So the first song, and it's not even a song, it's just like an instrumental introduction. It was just called Fanfare. Give me a break, Kiss, Fanfare. This serves no purpose. I don't know why this even exists. It's just some big dramatic orchestra, strings or something like that. It's like a minute and a half or 2 minutes. It's like Kiss, you know, doing Tommy by The Who and saying, hey, look at us, yeah? Yes, we wrote Rock and Roll All Night, but we're serious musicians now, and we're making a concept record, And the first track is going to be Fanfare, which is just an introduction. Garbage. Why is this on here? It just serves no purpose. And then it doesn't even get any better. The second track is Just a Boy, and I can't stand. I just hate Paul Stanley's. And Paul Stanley's one of my favorite singers ever. But he uses this high falsetto, big dramatic operatic voice. Can't stand it. I hate it. Just a Boy sucks. Just a Boy can just fuck off. Next is Odyssey, which kind of bleeds into, because it is a concept album, they kind of go together. It bleeds into Odyssey from Just a Boy. And Paul's horrible, dramatic, operatic falsetto vocals continue. There's strings on here and an orchestra and horns, I think, and everything. It's just so overly and stupidly dramatic. It sucks. Odyssey should be ought to suck. Next is Only You. This is Gene's first appearance. To me, based on my notes here, I thought, and I feel like when I listened to this today and yesterday, this was like pretty much, I felt like I was almost listening to it for the first time. Only You, I thought it sounded like it could have been on Gene's 1978 album. Paul's vocals come in at the end, and I think then towards the end it gets a little bit almost like a rock song, which is different from Just a Boy and Odyssey. And there was I wrote a note here, there was a little part towards the end, a couple of different parts that reminded me of, or what would later be Lonely as the Hunter. When I heard this song, I thought, it sounds like Lonely as the Hunter from Animalize, 1984. Next is Under the Rose. This is another one that had these big, I don't even know, I think this is a Gene song. I think my instinct is to say it's Paul because it's a rose and he's got his tattoo, but I think it's a Gene song. But this also had these big dramatic, I've got an itchy nose here, big dramatic vocals, which I think were in the chorus. Sucks also. Every song pretty much sucks. Oh, except Dark Light. This is track 6. This is Ace's only vocal on this album. And the beginning. Now, I really know, I don't know what people think of this album. I know most people think it sucks. And I'm sure I'm not the first person to point this out. The beginning of Dark Light, the guitar, totally sounds like or is reminiscent of the Jaws theme. Everybody knows that. And it is really the first rock song. It took to track 6 to get to like a real rock song. It's got a great solo in it, and it sounds like Ace playing the solo. I don't know who played on the rest of the songs, but this sounds like an Ace guitar solo. And it's kind of weird during the solo. It's just Ace's solo and drums. There's no bass and no rhythm guitar, which I kind of like it. It's a little bit different. So Dark Light is a little light so far on this album, although it doesn't get too much better. Next is A World Without Heroes. Now, I remember this song when it came out, around the time. Didn't like it. I was 11 or 12 years old, and even back then I was, kids are dumb, but I was smart enough to know that this song sucks. Remember the Gene's tear coming down his eye in that video, and just garbage. A better version of this on MTV Unplugged. But yeah, World Without Heroes, stop. The Oath. Now, this is another, I guess, 2 out of 3 rock songs, but it does have the falsetto crap. Paul Stanley sings in a falsetto voice there. And this reminded me of Exciter, which was the first song on Lick It Up, 1983, which I love Exciter. And parts of The Oath remind me of Exciter. Now, the next song, Mr. Blackwell, I would say this is, I would say I like Dark Light. Dark Light is a good song. The next song, Mr. Blackwell, I like this song. This is, I guess, one of only 2 songs I can say that I like. I don't love it. This also had, for me, the vibe of Gene's 1978 solo, let's say a Kiss record, 1978 record. It's kind of got that Gene attitude to it. It's almost just like a little tweak away from being almost like a classic Gene, almost signature song. Not in the vein of God of Thunder or I Love It Loud or Unholy, but it could be with some work, a few tweaks here and there. I think it could have been really like a classic signature Gene song. But I like Mr. Blackwell. I think this is the one song, it's for sure my favorite. There's only 2 that could even be considered. And Yeah, so Mr. Blackwell, I'll say yes to Mr. Blackwell. He's not well. Two more. Number 10 is Escape from the Island. It's an instrumental. It's hard rock. I don't know what it has to do with the concept of the Elder, because it doesn't, it doesn't tell the story. And I still have no idea what the fuck the story is. And this also had a good solo presumably from Ace on it. To me, I could identify it as an Ace solo, although I could be wrong. And then the last song is I. Now this one I do know I, because I have heard this a few times over the years. It comes up sometimes if somebody posts it on social media, or I come across the video that I think it was from Italian television or something. Horrible lip sync job. And I don't really like this song, although I guess it's the closest that they come on this album to what I would say is it would be a classic Kiss song. It's anthemic. It's, Paul and Gene are both singing it. It has the spirit of Kiss, kind of a positive attitude. I think maybe that's what they were trying to do, like say, hey, we need something on here to make it sound like a Kiss record. So that song, it's not that good. I understand the effort. And I also had written that, to me, towards the end, it reminds me of a crazy little thing called Love by Queen on, I think it was The Game in 1980. The clapping part, that's it. So that's I. So that's it for music from the Elder. Yeah, this album is really, really bad. It's well deserving of its reputation of being at the bottom of pretty much everybody's list. I think if you don't count the 1978 albums as Kiss albums, although I do, because I think most people would be like me and put Peter Criss at the bottom, it's very understandable, and I would say definitely strongly agreeable that the Elder belongs at the bottom of any list. That guy Mike Pratt, he thinks Carnival of Souls should be at the bottom of the list. Crazy. Carnival of Souls is, well, compared to this, it may as well be Love Gun. But I think even on its own, Carnival of Souls is pretty good. The Elder is not good. The Elder is not good, really, in any way. So that's it. So I'll take a little break from Kiss for a while. I've got one more, as I mentioned, that I've got here coming up. I'm still always on the hunt for more. But until then, oof, stinker. This is called it's not called The Elder. It's called Music from the Elder by Kiss.